All right, earlier today, Conspiracy TV, MSNBC, Liberal Joe doubled down on stupid in his comments about President Trump and 9/11. We've got the evidence. Take a look.
The retweeting of neo-Nazi videos, Charlottesville. I mean, I could go on and on. What he said about majority black countries. That is tearing more at the fabric of America than attacks on the Twin Towers did. We rebuilt from that. We became stronger because of that. But this seems to me a far graver threat to the idea of America.
Joining us now with reaction from the Trump Organization, the president, Trump's son, Eric Trump. Good to see you. 1 year tomorrow is your son's birthday.
It is.
Congratulations. 1 year old.
Amazing year.
All right. I don't even know if I have a lot more to say about Joe, except it's so cruel and so mean and so vicious, even for him, and he took the time to write it. I've said dumb things and had to take it back, but we're not on a delay. We're live.
Look how uncomfortable Willie Geist looked. Do you see him?
Oh,
He's sitting there. He just wanted to get the hell out of there. I mean,
yeah.
He was so uncomfortable. But what a stupid comment. I mean, what an unbelievable stupid comment. And sometimes I watch a show and literally you almost can't watch. It's almost unwatchable. You end up turning it off because it's crazy. 9/11 was the greatest tragedy probably in the history of this country. You had 3,000 innocent people perish that day to absolute savages.
It's horrible.
He compares that to a man who gave up his life to run for commander-in-chief to better this country, and by every economic measure, by every quantifiable measure, this country is doing better. I don't care if you look at unemployment, if you look at GDP growth, if you look at stock markets, if you look at 401ks, if you look at the amount of people who have come off food stamps. I mean, I could go on and on and on. How about the largest tax cuts in the history of this nation, jobs coming back to this nation, consumer confidence being at an all-time high? I mean, I could go on and on. What kind of stupid comment is this? And it's quite frankly the reason that Joe and Mika have no watchers in the morning. How many watchers do they have? 500,000? You know how many people are watching tonight?
I watch Fox and Friends. That's what I watch. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's silly. People are tired of this. You know.
It's just there's a certain insensitivity, but this is Trump derangement. You're right. Let's say that some people don't like your dad's style. That he fights on Twitter. That he takes on all comers. That he's combative. He doesn't apologize for things that the political class demands he apologizes for. So what? For me, we got 4 million more Americans working. We got 4 million fewer Americans on food stamps. All the things you talked about. But more importantly, he keeps his word. Yeah. Conservative justices, Supreme Court, fighting for the borders. You know what? I would say not having a missile fired over Japan since December is pretty successful. Hostages home, remains of soldiers home. That to me is, and everyone thought he'd start World War III. Kind of worked out differently and better for the whole world.
You know, those savages that took down the World Trade Center, that flew a plane into a field in Pennsylvania, that flew a plane into the Pentagon, they are largely gone because of the actions of my father over the last 24 months. If you go back 24 months, all you heard about ISIS, ISIS, ISIS every day. I mean, he put a war on them like they've never seen before. He unhandcuffed the military. He let the guys who do the best job in the world, the brave men and women, go after these people, go after these savages. And you don't hear about them anymore. They went from 45,000 soldiers on the battlefield.
Everyone seems to forget the beheadings. Do you remember the beheadings?
How about throwing people off of buildings? How about everything? People do forget about that, and it's very sad. And it was a stupid comment by Joe, one that obviously he instantly regretted.
He actually doubled down on stupid. Yeah. And then he got a lot of pressure. Then he kind of pulled back halfway. Look, I don't call for boycotts. I don't want anybody to be silenced. In the end, it's always conservatives that they want to silence. He can say whatever he wants, and people have the power to watch or not watch. Let me talk about these elections in 56 days. I keep saying it's the most important midterm in our life. Sure. But the track record over 100 years, it's only happened 3 times. The last time was George W. Bush after 9/11. Yeah. That party comes to power in the White House, and they don't lose seats in the House or lose the control of one of the chambers. It's an uphill task.
Yeah, it might be. But what are the Democrats' message right now? Let's raise taxes. Right, that's one of their messages. Let's raise taxes. Let's go after our amazing law enforcement. Let's abolish ICE and let's eliminate plastic straws. I mean, that's literally the message of the Democrats right now. I mean, they have no leadership. Yeah. You saw the disaster that was the Kavanaugh hearings, where you have Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and everything.
Unhinged.
They're up there grandstanding. I mean, the poor guy didn't even get to speak for the first 7 hours of the hearing because they're sitting there going back and forth, running for president of the United States up, on the stage. I mean, it's crazy. I don't think America's into that, right? You look at how well the economy's doing. You look at how good we've done in the war of terror.
You raise a good point. But your dad's a charismatic guy. A lot of people voted for him in 2016. It's hard to transfer charisma to some of these candidates. They suck.
Yeah.
I mean, they're weak. They don't have a backbone. But they're not going to impeach your dad. I believe Maxine Waters and Chuck Schumer reveal what their strategy is. They want their crumbs back. They want to rescind the tax cuts. They don't want conservative justices. They want to abolish ICE, as you said. They want to keep Obamacare. Name one thing that they're offering the working men and women in this country, the forgotten men and women, that's going to make their lives better.
And then Obama comes out and takes credit for it this week, which is truly shocking, right? I mean, they all fought against this tax cut, the greatest tax cut in the history of the country that puts so much fuel into our economy and is causing all these unbelievable numbers that we're seeing every single day.
Did you see what the Atlanta Fed just projected?
They all voted against this.
They projected 4.7 GDP for the third quarter.
It's amazing. And by the way, they had to revise GDP upward
to 4.2
this quarter. And do you remember the New York Times and the LA Times? They all made fun of my father during the election. You know, he says he can get above 3% GDP. There's no way he can get above 3% GDP. He's dreaming. Then he gets 4.2% GDP, and they're crickets, right? They're talking about Omarosa. They're talking about some crazy book that comes out this week. I mean, no matter what he does, they won't give him credit, and it's horrible. But you know what? The people of this country...
You're pretty calm about it. I'm not as calm as you.
The people of this country are really smart. They see through nonsense. They see through BS. And
but in 56 days, if they want this to continue...
Sean, he's going to... Yeah, it's better go out and vote. But wait, by voting for Republicans, you're helping him succeed at the mission...
that you elected in 2016.
That's right. And if you don't, you're effectively voting against him. But he's going to do incredibly well. He's going to keep winning for this country. And he's going to win again in 2020.
Is there a reason for the new look or what?
Do you like it?
Who cares what I like?
My wife won't let me shave.
Thanks for sharing. Good to see you.
Thank you as well, Sean.